Hey guys, Yegi here. Well, for this video, we're gonna do a little bit of a long tutorial, and it is extra exciting because I'm gonna be doing lashes on another fellow lash artist who's kind of starting out. So I'll cover a lot of tips and tricks and some advice, and you'll hear about a lot of lash talk, so I think it'll be interesting. And I will also cover all the good tutorial, like 101, everything that you need to know about lashing. We'll cover taping techniques, mapping. I'll tell you guys more about the clear glue and some tips about it, how to dip the glue exactly, like how much you will need. Ooh, and you guys will get to see me use the brand new almost released gold tweezers we have. They're super perfect. And also I will show you how to pick up the pre-made fans without breaking them, because you guys have also, some people have also asked that, how do you grab them without them falling apart so you don't waste any. And lastly, we will also go over the taping of the inner corners separately in order for you guys to apply, or what tweezers to use for the inner corners to do a better job, since that is also a common question. So I hope you guys enjoy. Comment below, ask questions, let me know what other videos you guys would like to see or what you think about this kind of chatty video with my client. Hope you guys go through the process with me and see kind of how I guide my clients through the lashing process. Well, enjoy. So you have no eye makeup, right?
No.
Okay. But just to make sure they last the longest, I'm gonna go ahead and use our lash wash to be able to cleanse them. It shouldn't sting, it shouldn't bug you at all, even if it goes in your eye, okay? But if anything does, just let me know. Okay. But close your eyes for me. You're gonna feel wet, okay? So don't get scared. It's always like weird. I'm just cleansing it with water now. Gonna dry them. So now we're gonna put the under eye patches. So look up for me, taping them down. So mainly I use the under eye patches to hold down the bottom lashes, but to also protect the skin. Everything else that's kind of sneaking out of the under eye patch, I'm going to use tape to tape that down. I'd rather not have the under eye patch come too close to the eye, because that's when it can get irritated and red by the end of the application. Especially, you know, if I'm going to take longer to do them, for me, for example, because I'm recording, or if somebody's new. Like, so I'm going to use 2 layers of white tape to tape over the under eye patch. I'm going to first focus on the outer corner in an X formation. So I'm aligning that part of the tape to the outer corner of the eye. Then the same thing for the inner corner. Close for me. Okay. Is that comfortable? So now over the white tape, I'm going to put the same thing but with clear tape, and I'm only going to apply 1 layer. The reason why I like putting the clear tape over the white tape is because it makes it really lint free and smooth surface for me in order to glide my tweezers on, which also helps me with my isolation. And I'm going to just go ahead again, focus on the outer corner and then the inner corner. Close for me. That's still comfortable? Perfect. I'm gonna repeat the same thing on the other eye. So she just told me this one, the right eye is kind of poking her, so it's important to make sure you make your clients feel comfortable to tell you, because look, now it is actually going in her eye. So it's always very important to check the tape every about like 15 minutes maybe, because when they open and close their eyes, it can shift, and we don't want it to poke the client's eyes, because that's how they're gonna have really red or irritated eyes at the end. Okay, so close for me. Is that better? Okay, so we'll just keep checking about every 15-20 minutes to make sure it's still not bugging you, just because, you know, with just also the body temperature and the motion, everything, it can lift up. Just put it down a little more. Okay. So for her, she wanted more of a natural look, but she still wanted them to be full, but not too full. So we're gonna do a very light volume with the pre-made 2D fans, which are also known as the Y lashes, okay? So the reason why I decided to use these is, again, because she does want more of a natural look, but still have them full. And this gives it a really cool effect, actually. And it comes in a mixed tray, so we have from 8 to 14, and I can do a full set even with just one of the trays, okay? If the client has more eyelashes, then I'll probably need 2 of the trays to give her a full look, but we'll see as we start applying. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use the magnetic lash holder around her forehead. Please lift up for me. This is where I'm gonna place my lashes for me to be able to apply. And I personally like to place them on the forehead because it makes me go faster. But some people, if you feel like it's getting in your way on the forehead, you can put it next to you on your lash pillow. So for her, I want to taper up to a doll eye shape, so that's what she wants to try. And she has the eye shape that would support a nice doll eye shape, so I'm gonna use the longest length, 12th in the middle, because again she wants a medium length. I'm gonna taper down all the way to 9, so I'm gonna use from 9 to 12, so 9, 10, 11, and 12, and these are 0.15. We're going to use a C curl in order to give her, again, more of a natural curl instead of a really curly look. I am going to use our Precision Perfect Gold tweezers. They are not released yet, but they will be released soon. I'm going to use the 8-3, this curved one, to isolate, and this semi-curved moon-shaped A2 in order to apply. So this is nice for me to be able to do the pre-made fans because it gives me just enough of a curve, but also help me with classic. And my current favorite glue, the transparent glue. The one thing that's different about the transparent glue is that we're going to use very little, even less than how much we would use of the regular glues that have the black tint to them. And we do want to actually also make sure that the client's eyes are not watery, because the transparent glue, if it does touch water before it's dry, that's when it can turn white or look more chunky compared to it. Okay, so we use very little, and make sure your client's eyes are not going to get watery, which means make sure you don't lift their eye open or they don't open before the eyelashes are dry. So I can move this magnetic lash pad left and right in order to get it kind of out of my way if it's in my way for isolation and application. So we're gonna do a doll eye shape, so which means the center part is the longest part, and the very center I'm gonna use 12. So mostly this area right here, I'm gonna use 12. Then I'm gonna use 11, 10, and a few 9s for the inner and outer corners. So the outer corner, I'll go 11 and I'll go 10. I'm not gonna go all the way down to 9 unless there's some really short baby hairs. But most of the time, if I don't want to do a very symmetrical doll eye and I just want the inner corner to be a little bit shorter than the outer corner, it gives it a cool effect. So I won't use the 9s in the outer corner. If you see, she does have few layers of eyelashes, so it may also be easier to do her lashes in layers if I see that it's going to be hard to isolate just like this. But let's see. And I can help with my right hand to isolate. Oh, I forgot to prime. All right, let's go back and prime really quick. I got too excited to apply. Why is it not sticking as good as it should? Like in the past, especially with clients, if I start chatting and really, get into it. I would forget. Like, oh shoot, let me go back and prime. So I have to dry the glue. So yeah, I guess it's a good lesson. If anybody forgets to prime, it's okay to prime right when you remember. It's better than nothing. So you would just dry the eyelashes of whatever you applied and then go back and prime and then dry again.
Like I usually place my lashes on the side
next
of it,
to you, yeah.
because I feel like for me this way is hard.
The forehead is hard. Yeah,
like
a lot of people
I
have.
Smash it, the lashes, and
Yeah.
it gets in my way.
The trick is to move it, you know, like left and right, so it stays in between your hands. But some people just never get comfortable with that. So that's why it's like, just put it on the side if that's what works better for you, you know?
I wish you would, because it makes more sense.
It makes it faster, yeah. But and I think sometimes it depends on the client too, you know? Like some people will have more room on their forehead that you could work with, and some people won't. So if I even have to like adjust to put it on the side, then I will. You know, the main thing is for you to be comfortable when you're lashing, so then you can go faster. If you're uncomfortable, that's like the #1 reason why people go slow.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll take my time and I'll adjust like my chair, my bed, like anything I need for each specific client. You know what you can do too, until you have like a space, you can do mobile clients. A lot of people want you to go to them, and you can charge more.
Mobile. Yeah. I literally thought of that, but I'm like, my lash fit is heavier than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh, you need someone to come with you and set up. Yeah. It's like, husband, quit your job.
I know, right? So that's what I was thinking about it, but I'm like, oh.
Yeah, honestly, I used to do mobile like in the beginning, and it is a lot of work, but then you charge more for it, you know? But it is like a lot of work to drag all your stuff, go set up. You at least waste like extra time too, so you have to charge more. And some people
do appreciate that, right? Like you coming out there.
Yeah, some people just want that. Like usually more like bigger, like even like celebrity clients, or like even small time celebrity clients, like they just want you to go to them, you know?
That's true. I feel like it's hard when you start. I feel like people wouldn't want to pay like extra that much for you to come to. I don't know, that's just my theory. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to
like when I do hair and makeup, I charge to come to them. Yeah. You know? But even then, like some people aren't feeling like, well then don't book me. You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna be lowering my prices to your convenience, you know?
Your worth.
Exactly. And I just feel like it helps that back me up that I have a license, you know? It's not like I'm just trying to be a makeup artist or something.
Yeah. You are professional.
Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't go to school that long for nothing.
Yeah, that test is not that easy to pass, you know?
So it was hard. Like I feel like the writing more than anything, the written test was hard.
I feel like a lot of people who are in cosmetology, you know, they love the creative stuff but not the writing, so they have more of a challenge with the written test.
Exactly.
It's really good to have a focus, because then you can be really good at that one thing, you know, and that's what you can be super proud of and be known for. That's why I eventually like stopped doing everything too and just started only doing lashes.
Yeah, that was like your main focus.
Yeah.
And I thought like add lashes when I already do makeup and hair. It's just like, it's something in the beauty industry that still would be good.
Yeah, you know why it's good to mix the lashes with hair services? Because you get a break, honestly. That's like when you're sitting like this, see, like I really feel like I'm just kind of chilling. When you're doing hair, you're on your feet, like you're more tired.
My back hurts, it messed up because of that.
Yeah, so but when you do lashes in between, which is what I recommend, like a lot of my students to do, it's like do hair client, like couple hair clients, and then take one lash, you know, client, like mix it up, because you at least get to sit, catch a break, but you're still being super efficient with your time, because you're still making money, you know, when you're taking the lash client. So yeah, that's true. That's what I used to do. I used to like alternate until I was like, I'm kind of over hair.
Yeah, it's a lot more work for sure. It's more tiring.
Yeah. You know what one of my girls did? I don't know if you know about like the Salon Suites.
Oh yes.
So if you don't want to work like at a salon, you want to do your own thing, but you still want to have your space and have a professional, you know, business, but not have all the extra headaches with owning your own salon.
I know, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, you can rent one of the Salon Suites, and you just pay your monthly rent, do your own thing, and that's it. You know, no one's gonna tell you what to do.
That's true. That'd be another good idea too.
here you can see my hand placement and where I kind of place the lashes on her forehead for them not to get in my way as I'm lashing. So I move that lash pad in between my hands so I don't crush the lashes and it's not in my way as I'm applying. So if I move in a different area on the eye or the next eye, that's when I would glide it, okay? And you can also see how I'm holding the tweezers, the positioning, and where my glue ring is and how my glue ring is kind of tilted more inwards towards me. And the purpose of that is also for it to be at a better angle for me as I'm dipping my lash in there, and also for it not to spill on the client's face, you know, pointing away from their face, just in case if it did spill. And remember, the place we're gluing the fan on or our 2D lash on is right on top of the natural lash, and it's like 0.5 millimeter to 2 millimeters max away from where the lash is growing out. We don't want to touch the skin. I know I always repeat that in my videos, but it's super important for the health of your client's natural eye and for the comfort. Okay, so make sure you follow your isolation and where you're gluing it. And when you're dipping the lash in the glue, make sure you're just using very, very little glue. You don't need a lot. You don't want to see the glue beads on there. You want to know it's there, but not see it's there. So just dip it in and wipe the excess on your glue ring. But when you're gonna start doing extensions, you probably want to find someone close to you like who also does them, and always have them on, because it helps with selling them too, because people see it on you and they're like, ooh, I like it.
Oh, that's true.
Who does it for you? And then you're like, oh, actually I do. Like I do lashes too.
Right.
And then a lot of times that's how I would build up my
Like promoting
clients too.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You're gonna be like a walking advertisement for lashes. Okay, I want to show you guys one trick with working with pre-made fans. Okay, so these are just 2D, so it's only 2 lashes. So if I pick them up, they're not going to fall apart that easily. But sometimes if you have 3D, 4D, 5D, sometimes if you pick it up from like up here and you're not grabbing all the lashes, it'll fall apart like that. See, like how I only grabbed one. So the trick with pre-made fans, because they're on a sticky strip, you want to grab it down here at its base and lift it off the sticky part, gently put it down, and then hold it higher so you can have enough room to dip it in the glue. Okay, so like I said, with the 2Ds you don't really have to, they don't fall apart that easily, but the bigger fans, if you want to protect the fans and make them look as nice as possible without wasting, you know, any fans, lift them from the base first and then gently place it down, then grab it higher. Now when we want to dip it in the glue, we're only dipping the very tip in the glue where they're all together. So the part that's together at the base right here, that's the only part I'm dipping it in the glue, not more than that. And I'm still dipping just that much and wiping the extra, okay? You need very little of this glue. So let's pause this video right here and look at this isolation. You want to make sure you're going to see each of your isolation that nicely and clearly. And if you isolate closer to the base where the eyelashes are growing out and hold it wider and more open where you see the natural lash better and where it's growing out of, you're going to do a much better job and much cleaner work by applying the extension better on the natural lash, because obviously you can see it better and you can control it better when you see it better, right? So make sure that's how your isolations look like every time, or keep practicing until they look like that. I am going to grab my H1 tweezers in order to help me with isolating the inner corners. This needle point really does help with some of these eyelashes for me to be able to see the root and where it's growing out of, compared to using the curved tweezers. I'm gonna use the sensitive tape to help pull her eyelid in order for me to help, for it to help me isolate better and more clear for the inner corners, okay? So I'm gonna use kind of half of it, and I like using the sensitive tape because it is much easier to get it off the skin without pulling on her eyelids. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold a little flap for myself to have a holding spot. And this other end, I'm gonna stick right on the inner corner. I'm gonna gently pull, okay? So I wanna get maybe even a thinner strip, about that much. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick the very end as closest to her inner corner as possible, and I'm gonna pull diagonally to help me see that inner corner better. After you're done applying for the inner corner, go ahead and make sure you brush the eyelashes, see how they're sitting, dry them, and then remove that extra taping. And then of course you want to check, make sure nothing's stuck underneath. You never want to ask your client just to open before doing this throughout the process. So that's what we're doing here. Now, as you're checking, make sure that none of the bottom lashes snuck up and they're not like how you see right now in the video. So if some of the bottom lashes snuck up in the inner corners and you thought they were upper eyelashes and you did place a couple of eyelashes on there like we did, this is when you want to make sure you're double checking and you're removing any in order to make sure it's not going to look funny before they open their eyes, okay? You want to check all of that prior. The easiest way to remove fans from a client's eyelashes is by banana peeling the fan apart. So this is only 2 lashes, so we're literally gonna pull the two lash extensions apart, and that's gonna break the bond or loosen the bond of the glue and get it released from the natural lash. You can also use this twisting technique if only one eyelash is left on the natural lash in order to break the bond. Okay, I'm gonna untape and only tape your inner corners so we can make sure we got all those little lashes, okay? And again, for me,
want me to open it?
No, keep it closed. Turn the light back on. Okay, so for me to tape the inner corner, I again use 2 layers of the white tape and 1 layer of the clear tape. And I'm just making a mini under eye patch. Those of you that watch my videos know this is a regular thing I do because it is easy to miss those inner corners, or like we saw earlier, for them to kind of be unclear to see with the bottom lashes and maybe get some of the bottom lashes like we saw in this video. So to avoid all that, for me, in order to keep adding, I'm doing this trick to make sure that we're gonna do a nice clean job and not miss any of those top eyelashes for the inner corners, but also protect the bottom lashes. So it's literally just taping that one part of the eye, which is the inner corner. And with the same technique, I can combine that other technique and still pull the eyelid a little bit. You see, that's gonna help me to see this inner corner a lot better than I was. So at this point, we finished doing the right eye and we're about done with the left eye. I literally just applied it the same way as we did the right eye. Now I only need to double check and add the inner corners and we'll be all done. But when we're done, I did want to mention that I always double check that nothing's stuck underneath before I remove the tape, because we don't want to pull and damage or, you know, pull any of her bottom lashes if anything is stuck. So in the inner corners, usually that's kind of when that happens. And I did notice over here it happened again for her. So I'm gently gonna release any that did and remove the lashes. So it looks like it's just this one. So I'm gonna remove that one and we should be good to go. And also removing the tape too, just in case we sandwiched some of her natural lashes between each layer of the tape. I'm gonna remove the tape one layer at a time, because again, we don't want to pull her lashes. A little more before she opens and for us to take the inner corner. But you see, if we don't fully take our time to add even some in the inner corner, if you look at the two eyes and you're comparing them, you can really see like something's missing right there. Just a whole strip of the eyelash, like the whole look of the eyelash looks like something's missing, and that's literally what it is, just one or two of the inner corners. So our last step would be the super bonder to help lock them in and have her be able to shower, do everything right away without anything getting in the way of her lashes lasting long or her retention. So I'm actually gonna tilt her head a little this way. I'm gonna put one drop. You're gonna twitch a little, okay? Just gonna go drop. And I could just brush it in with her.
Smells good.
Yeah, it smells really good actually. It's like fresh. So I could brush it in right in there. Or my other option is to, if I don't want to waste as much product, I can use my micro brushes and just put them on there on the right on the eyelashes. So for me to save more product, instead of dropping it, I'm just gonna go ahead and use a little bit on my micro brush. Make sure I cover her lashes. It just takes a little longer to do it this way, but you do save more product. I'm still gonna brush it in to make sure they all get it. Now we're just gonna give it about 2 to 3 minutes for it to really soak and dry and dehydrate the glue so they're fully ready.